We're back, gentlemen. Once again, we got a recap. Once again, silence from Chumba. He did give me. We played some video games together. He had some some creative suggestions about how I should. He wanted me to record the recap while on Discord with our friends, everybody that's in the league, and it's like, no, not how it works. Just technology doesn't work that way yet, so it would not have worked. I do have the OKC Minnesota game going right now. Looks like it's a 7-point game right now, about 3.5 minutes left. So it's getting down to it. Now, recap. A lot of stuff going on this week, a lot of interesting stuff. For starters, game of the week. Picked a good one. Picked a pretty good one. Jake and I were pretty tight for most of the weekend. Up until Sunday, it was a very tight matchup. Jake, I got out to a hot start Monday, Tuesday. Then I cooled down and Jake heated up. Then we tied on Friday, 45-45. And then I kind of walked away with it over the weekend. Took the win, moving to 7-2 to Jake's 4-5 in the league. I know that Jake is just... He had a gem pitched by Chris Sale that was immediately completely canceled out by Pete Crow Armstrong, also putting up 22 points, grand slam, and a home run, like 2 home runs, including a grand slam, I should say. So I know Jake was sick that day. Our next closest match, I always, it can get easily forgotten because sometimes we just don't have any close games. But I like to game of the week, closest, and as we go through the matchups that I'm recapping, they get wider gap and wider gap. So our second closest matchup was a real barn burner. Okay, Cameron gets his first loss of the season. No more undefeated teams. Cameron could not come through, and lost to Griff. Griff has had an electric response to his slow start of the season. Griff started, I believe it was 0-4. He is now 4-5, taking down the number 1 team in the Blue Pill Babe division. Griff went from last place to second place in a couple of weeks, right? That's the magic of playing your own division over and over and over and over again. John can cry all he wants. Can't reach this high. Can't even see my hit. John couldn't reach this high, right? He can complain, but it's all the way up here. He can't reach it, okay? It's magical. Griff, we thought he was out of it. Now he's right back in the middle of it all. Okay? Takes down Cameron, the number 1 team, falls to 8-1, 385.5 to 362. Great game. Cameron had this one until Sunday. Griff put up 103 points on Sunday, including, as Cameron pointed out to me earlier, the best pitching performance so far this season. Complete game shutout with 13 strikeouts, 2 hits, no walks by Scooble. Okay, huge. Put up 51 points on his own. That by itself would have outscored Cameron on Sunday. Cameron only put up 34 points. Thought he had the win, I guess. Maybe didn't do any Sunday pitching. I don't really know. I don't see a day-by-day of players. I see a full summary of players. But Cameron, week Sunday, where Griff just absolutely monster weekend. 57 on Friday, 63 on Saturday, and 103 Sunday. Griff scored 200 plus on Friday, Saturday, Sunday alone. Huge comeback for Griff. Huge. Brought him back into the conversation of playoff teams in just a couple weeks. So again, John, you can bitch and complain about all the way up here when you're only reaching, I can see what's on the screen. You can only reach this high, and it's way up this arm. This arm here, this is where you reach, right? We've covered earlier. You can't reach the top shelf. So bitch and moan all you want. This is the beauty of it. With this standard, Brochar's not even out of it. He's 1-8, and he's in our next game as he loses again. Falls to 1-8, right? He's in 5th place, but again, he could fight for a playoff spot. It's only week 10. I think we have 7 more regular season weeks. If he gets hot, who knows what can happen? He could do it all. Who knows? We might have more than 7 weeks too. I'll double check when we get to the end of it. But John does get the win here. He's the top scorer of the week, right? Huge week for John. 418 points. Absolute mayhem from Johnny Boy. Just, again, a good, consistent week. 26 and 28 were his lowest 2 days. Everything else, 91, 83. So, John, big week from Johnny Boy. Gets the win. Still in second place in the Flaccid Swingers division. So he's still behind myself. Excuse me. But, again, crazy shit can happen with this setup, John. So, bitch and moan all you want. Next, we move to the low... Oh, no, it's not the low scorer. Next game has a low scorer. Next game has the 2 lowest scorers, actually. What an ugly matchup. Connor gets a win here. Connor gets a win over Alec. Very interesting. Alec must have had some bad pitching weeks by the look of it. Just took a look. Yeah, he had a -15, -5, -3, -2, 2, 8. And Joe Ryan's one of his better pitchers. Griffin Canning's been one of the better pitchers for. So yeah, Alec had a rough week pitching, it looks like, and also had a pretty weak from his batters. Alec, who had been one of our, high scorers the last couple weeks, is towards the bottom, 271 points to Connor's 301. So it's still a tight matchup, but Connor does walk away with the win here by about 30 points. Actually, 30 points exactly. It's a 2-point game with 20 seconds left in this game right now. OKC is up. Anyway, so Connor gets the win. Alec, in 3rd place now, falls behind John in the Flaccid Swingers, and Connor is still in 5th place. But again, he's 4 and 5 in 5th place. John is 5 and 4 in 2nd place. It's a tight thing. John, bitch and moan all you want. I did it without league approval. I'm thinking about doing it for football again. Again, we'll see. We'll see if over the season it does, in fact, do what I think it is, but it appears to be working. Now we get to our 2 lowest scorers of the week. Chumba with his I Will Golder a Man. I am a man. Fuck. What do I... It was like a fucking tick right there. I am a man, though. I am, in fact, a man. Chumba, however, first of all, terrible grammar. Does not capitalize my name at all. So it is what it is. But Chumba, with only 270 points, walks away with a win because Eddie is our low scorer, 228 points. Guys, I'm just curious, how is Mr. Eddie, fake, not real, he's AI, going to perform a chug? I don't know, but Eddie owes us a chug. You hate to see it. Eddie, who's been pretty good, especially in fantasy baseball. He's been one of those teams that is right at the top year in, year out. So a little rough to see Eddie he's still in 3rd place, but being a low scorer is something, you don't expect from that man. But first thing this morning, what did we see in the group chat? Hey, Eddie, suck your team name. Which, honestly is deserved. And then Brochard came through with I think it was 2-2-1. So Chumba finally getting some props, or is he? Again, only Brochard and I are familiar with what the number means. So, is it good? Is it bad? Yeah, it could be in the middle. Who knows? I know Chumba doesn't like it. Makes him mad. So Chumba walks away with the win. Eddie kind of sneaks away. Honestly, I want to say like he should have probably lost the game, being 270. But Eddie just had to have a very bad week. Quick update, right? So we have it's a tight season, fellas. In the Flaccid Swingers division, everybody is in within 2 or 3 games. John and Alec are tied in record at 5-4, and are in 2nd and 3rd respectively. And then Jake and Connor tied at record in 4th and 5th respectively at 4-5. So Flaccid Swingers is very tight, with myself sitting at the top at 7-2. But again, playing your division, things could change real quick. On the other side, in the Blue Pill Babes, Cameron getting his first loss. Still the best team in the league by record. 8-1, sitting in first. Griff sneaks into 2nd place over Eddie, who they are both tied 4-5. Excuse me. Chumba at 3-6 in 4th, and Brochard down at the bottom at 1-8. Real good week. Real fun week. Let's real quick. Next week's game of the week. I think that it is. Fuck, I did pick it out. Yeah. I'm putting Jake back in the spotlight. That's what it was. Alec versus. Was it that one? I think it was that. Or was it Eddie? Yeah, no. Yeah. Okay, it's not Jake. That's what it is. Eddie and Cameron going head to head. Last year's defending champ versus the runner-up, I believe. I'm pretty sure that was our finals matchup. Either way, Cameron coming off his first loss, how does he respond? Versus Eddie, the lowest scorer, again, perennial contender. How does he respond? 3rd place versus 1st place, both in the Blue Pill Babe division. So Eddie can jump a little bit if he gets a win here, because Cameron's the only one in that division with a winning record, y'all. Everybody else has a losing record. So Eddie can put himself right back into 2nd place with a good week, and bring Cameron down a little lower to try and sneak up into 1st place. So a lot can happen. Like I said, okay, so we have 18 weeks. So after this week, we have 8 more matchups. So yeah, a ton of stuff can happen. So we'll see. We'll keep it in our back of our head. But that's a recap. I'm going to watch the end of the game. There's like 10 seconds left. We'll catch you fuckers later. And Eddie, Mr. Robot, Mr. Not Real, you owe us Chug, sir. Good luck.